One man, one scheme, one empire destroyed. In 1907, two idiots almost brought down Wall Street. But this isn't about them. This is about the man who actually did it. Meet Charles Ponzi, the financial genius who became America's most wanted. His net worth? Zero. His impact? Priceless destruction. This is how one Italian immigrant with nothing but lies built a $15 million empire and watched it all burn. I'm about to tell you a story that sounds impossible. A man who promised 50% returns in 45 days, who had crowds literally begging him to take their money, who became so powerful that newspapers called him a financial genius. But here's the twist. It was all fake. Every single dollar. Charles Ponzi didn't just scam people. He created the blueprint for financial destruction we still use today, the Ponzi scheme. And by the end of this story, you'll understand how one man's greed nearly collapsed the American economy. Before Ponzi became a millionaire, he was literally homeless. Born in Italy, 1882. Family money? Gone. He arrives in Boston with $2.50 in his pocket, sleeps in parks, begs for food, works as a dishwasher, a waiter, a factory hand, gets fired. Repeatedly. Why? He keeps trying to cheat customers. Then comes his first real crime. Montreal, 1907. He works at a bank. The bank itself is a scam, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Sound familiar? Ponzi learns the game. But he gets greedy, forges a check for $423, gets caught, 3 years in prison. When he gets out, he tries human smuggling, gets caught again, 2 more years. By age 30, Ponzi has learned 2 things: crime pays, and don't get caught. But his real education was just beginning. In 1919, a single letter changed everything. Ponzi was running a failed trade magazine. No subscribers, no advertisers, no money. Then, inside a letter from Spain, he found something called an international reply coupon. Most people would throw it away. Ponzi saw opportunity. Buy coupons in Italy where currency was weak. Redeem in America where the dollar was strong. Tiny profit per coupon. Scaled up, massive returns. On paper, it was brilliant. In reality, impossible. There weren't enough coupons in the entire world, and shipping costs would erase the profits. But Ponzi didn't care about reality. He cared about the story. January 1920. He launches the Securities Exchange Company. The promise? 50% return in 45 days, 100% return in 90 days. Ponzi had found his weapon, hope disguised as mathematics. Within months, people were lining up around the block to give him their life savings. First month, 18 investors. All get paid exactly as promised. Word spreads like wildfire. Month 2, hundreds of investors. Month 3, thousands. The Boston Post calls him a financial wizard. Ponzi's making $250,000 per day. That's $3.5 million in today's money, daily. But here's the secret. No coupons, no international trading, no investments, just new money paying old investors. Classic Ponzi scheme. He buys a mansion, fast cars, diamond pins, lives like a king. Meanwhile, his investors are getting rich too, at least on paper. Most reinvest their profits. Why wouldn't they? 50% in 45 days. Ponzi had created the perfect perpetual motion machine of greed, but perpetual motion machines don't exist. By summer 1920, Ponzi controlled more money than some banks, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The Boston Post got suspicious. They brought in Clarence Barron from the Wall Street Journal. Barron did the math. Ponzi would need 160 million coupons. Only 27,000 existed worldwide. The numbers didn't add up. July 1920, front page. Ponzi is a fraud. But Ponzi fought back. He cooperated with investigators, stopped taking new investments, paid out anyone who wanted their money. For a moment, it worked. Then he hired William McMasters as publicist. Big mistake. McMasters investigated Ponzi's books, discovered the truth, went to the Boston Post, wrote a Pulitzer Prize-winning exposé. The man Ponzi hired to save him became the man who destroyed him, and the destruction was absolute. October 1920. The empire crumbled in days. McMaster's article hit newsstands. Panic spread instantly. Investors stormed Ponzi's offices, demanded their money back. But there was no money. There never was. Several banks declared bankruptcy. Tens of thousands lost everything. Life savings gone. Retirement funds vanished. Ponzi was arrested. 86 counts of mail fraud. But he cut a deal. Pleaded guilty to one charge. Just 5 years in prison. 5 years. For destroying thousands of lives. He got out early. Immediately started another scam. Florida real estate this time. Same promises, same lies. Got caught again. In the end, Ponzi spent his final years in poverty. Forgotten, broken. Charles Ponzi died in 1949. Penniless, alone, in a charity hospital. But his name, immortal. Every financial scam since bears his signature. Bernie Madoff's $65 billion fraud, Ponzi scheme, countless crypto scams, Ponzi schemes. The man who started with nothing created something that won't die, a blueprint for destruction. Here's what Ponzi understood that his victims didn't. Greed makes people stupid. Hope makes them blind. And mathematics? Most people don't check the math. The next time someone promises impossible returns, remember Charles Ponzi, the man who proved that the biggest lie is often the most believable one. What's the craziest get-rich-quick scheme you've ever heard of? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to learn about more financial disasters that shaped history, hit that subscribe button.